Hey guys, Astral Antonio here with part 2 of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas tips and tricks. If you haven't checked out part 1 yet, be sure to check it out after this video so you can get even more tips and tricks that you can use during your time roaming the streets of Los Santos. In this video, I'll cover plenty of things, like how to max out your stats early, useful combat techniques, and more. So, grab your white tank top and your blue jeans, and let's get right into it. Alright, in part 1, I talked about how using police, medic, and fire vehicles could be a great way to making some quick cash early on in the game. But what I didn't mention is that completing the missions for each of these vehicles can actually boost your stats. For instance, if you complete the paramedic missions for the ambulance, CJ's health stat will be maxed out. The ambulance missions are much easier to complete if you go to isolated towns, such as Montgomery or Angel Pines. Since these towns are so separated from all the other towns, all the civilians you have to save will be closer, hence making it easier. Now, if you complete the vigilante missions on any of the police vehicles, body armor will last way longer than before. And if you complete missions for the fire truck, CJ will actually become fireproof. One vehicle I really didn't mention in my first tips and tricks video was the Boxville. The Boxville will allow you to perform burglar missions, which can make CJ a decent amount of money. The burglar missions must be performed between the hours of 20 o'clock and 6 o'clock. During these missions, if you manage to steal at least $10,000 of stuff from people's houses, CJ will gain the ability to sprint infinitely. Complete the missions for all 4 of these vehicles, and CJ will become the most resilient warrior on the streets of San Andreas. While playing San Andreas, you may notice that you can upgrade your weapon skill for each different weapon or weapon type. Maxing out weapon skill is really useful, as it gives CJ certain abilities, like dual wielding the pistols and machine pistols, and allowing CJ to walk while shooting bigger guns like the AK-47 and the shotgun. However, early on in the game, it's pretty difficult to max out weapon stats, but if you use this trick, it shouldn't take so long. All you need to do is grab a car and park it inside any of the garages at one of the safe houses. Next, make sure you have plenty of ammo for the gun that you want to max out. Now, stand close enough to the garage door so that it opens up and start firing at the vehicle. Stop once the vehicle starts smoking and let the garage door close. Open the garage door back up and the vehicle should be repaired, so start firing again. Repeat this until you've maxed out the weapon stat for whatever weapon you were using. This can be done at any of the safe houses that has a garage, but it's better to do it at one of the more isolated safe houses, like the mansion located in the hills of Vinewood. Doing this in an isolated area will reduce the risk of getting stars and having cops interrupt your grind. Another tip for combat that the game actually tells you about is to crouch. Crouching while shooting will improve your accuracy and will also allow you to take cover from oncoming enemy fire. Again, the game tells you about this, but it's a strategy that I don't see many people utilizing when they play San Andreas. While traversing the streets of San Andreas, it might be tempting just to drive everywhere. However, utilizing the bikes in this game, such as the BMX, the mountain bike, or the one that is super creatively named the Bike, is a great way to get around. Cycling will up CJ's stamina and burn fat, keeping him fit. Also, the cycling skill goes up rather quickly. When the cycling skill starts to rise, it will allow CJ to bunny hop higher, making it easier to jump over vehicles and obstacles. Once the cycling skill gets fully maxed out, the bunny hop will be more than high enough to jump over most cars, making it easier to ride through traffic, and also making it easier to complete the skate park side mission located in Glen Park next to the Jefferson Hospital. The biggest downside to cycling is that there's no radio, but that's a small downside compared to all the other benefits. After completing the mission Doberman for Sweet, you unlock the ability to enact gang wars. Enemy territories will be marked on the map with their respective colors. Purple for the Ballas, yellow for the Aztecas and Vagos, and green for the Grove Street families. To enact a gang war, just go to one of the enemy territories marked on the map, and kill a couple of gang members. Once started, there will be several waves of rival gang members to defeat. Most of the gang wars are pretty easy, but if you're having some trouble, you can always recruit other members of the Grove Street gang to help you out. The more gang wars you complete, the higher CJ's respect stat will get, enabling him to recruit more Grove Street gang members at once. It's also a great way to gain weapon skill, as you'll be shooting a lot of gang members, and it's a great way to get more money. The more territories you control, the more money you can collect from this dollar sign located in front of CJ's house on Grove Street. However, I wouldn't recommend doing the gang wars right when you unlock them. This is because after the mission The Green Saber, CJ is forced to leave Los Santos by Crash, the corrupt police group that is always giving CJ a hard time. This will remove gang territories from the map completely, subsequently erasing all the progress you've made up to that point. The gang territories will return later on once you reach a certain point of the game, and this is when I recommend that you do it. Now, while you will want to keep most of the body fat off of CJ, as it affects his running speed and his stamina, you do want to keep some fat on CJ's body. This is because it helps CJ retain his hard-earned muscle that was gained at the gym. If CJ has no body fat and maxed out muscle, he will lose his muscle much more quickly. However, if he has some fat on his body, he'll lose the fat before losing his muscle. A good amount of body fat to maintain is around 15 to 25%, as this will be enough to protect his muscle without losing his speed or stamina. Bottom line is, Big Smoke was right when he told CJ that he was looking a bit too skinny, and he needs to eat to keep his strength up. This is the final tip that I have for you guys today. Once CJ gets enough muscle packed onto his body, you unlock the ability to learn new fighting styles at any of the gyms, except for the outdoor gym located on Santa Maria Beach and Mad Dog's private gym. Each of these gyms has a unique fighting style, with the gym in Ganton teaching CJ how to box, the gym in Garcia teaching CJ Kung Fu, and the gym in Red Sands East teaching CJ Muay Thai. Each fighting style is super unique and has its own benefits. However, Kung Fu is my personal recommendation. Hey everyone, Astral Antonio here with another end slate. I hope you enjoyed part 2 of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas tips and tricks. This will probably be my last tips and tricks video for San Andreas, solely based on the fact that I can't really think of anything else to make a third part about. This won't be my last video on the Grand Theft Auto series, or even on San Andreas. In fact, I'm already working on a tips and tricks video for Grand Theft Auto 3, which will be out within the next 2 weeks, so please subscribe if you're interested. I'll also be releasing videos about other game series too. In fact, my next video will be on an iceberg on the original Super Mario Bros., which will be posted on Sunday. On the screen are links to 2 videos that I highly recommend you check out. One of them is the first part of this video, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas Tips and Tricks Part 1. The other video is my first iceberg video on Super Mario 64. Check them out if you're interested. Anyways, this has been Astral Antonio. Stay tuned. Thanks.